Joining us now is Bear, and he's a husband, a dad, businessman who encourages men to abandon themselves to the wildness of God's will through the Fisher of Men Catholic Fellowship International. He has set a goal to start 100, that's 100, new Catholics men's fellowships at the parish level. Bear's written a book about his surfing journey of faith, what Father Reed is kind of showing right now, and we're going to talk to him now about it. Bear, how you doing?
Aloha, good to see you guys.
Hey, I have to ask you, Bonnie just told me this, and I didn't realize it. Is it actually like 4 o'clock, 4:30 or so in the morning over there?
Yeah, 4:30 in the morning.
Yeah,
This
you're
is
a
the
good
time
man.
I started my paddle when I paddled the Molokai Channel. It's 30 miles from between those two islands. I started at dark. So yeah, it's dark 30 over here. You want the surf report?
Sure.
I just can't believe that you look great that early in the morning. That's great.
Yeah, my wife was a Swedish TV makeup artist, so she probably worked her magic.
She's right there right now, isn't she?
Yeah, she's hiding in the corner making faces at me.
Well, that's what wives do. Well, hey, this is truly an inspirational memoir, giving readers the chance to really look deep inside of themselves. Why do you think this is so important?
Well, you know, the thing about that book is I was very transparent, going through kind of the highs and the lows. And what's interesting is, having been so transparent, people who have read it feel comfortable coming up and sharing with me. And what I found out is basically everybody's going through that Rocky Balboa kind of life. Everyone's really facing challenges, and you know, that's part of the process of living. It's part of our journey. When I study the lives of the contemplative saints like Saint Teresa of Avila, Saint John of the Cross, Saint Teresa of Lisieux, there's always that process. I remember when I was a young Christian, I picked up the book by Saint John of the Cross called Dark Night of the Soul, and I was like, wow, I'm so glad I got to skip that step, you know, of challenge and difficulty, and in times when you didn't feel God was even present. And so there is this journey, there is this process, and although the book is a memoir, believe it or not, it follows the 7 stages of intimacy that these saints outline for us. So it kind of is, the journey through my life is kind of just showing the journey that we all go through as the Holy Spirit draws us closer to Him.
Bear, I don't know if you heard me mention earlier in the show, much of my family is in Honolulu right now because my niece graduated from the university last weekend, and I wish a lot of my young nephews, when I say young, you know, they're in their 20s, I wish they could meet you, because I have to ask you this with regard to men. You know, what made you answer that call to minister to men, to call them to find God in the wilderness of their lives?
Well, I'll tell you what, I was praying with Jamie. He's a DJ at a Catholic radio station in Florida. And while we were praying, I had this kind of sense come to me. I would say kind of like an image. I'm a writer, so I think in images of this big black pickup truck driving through a gravel parking lot, and it was spinning its wheels. Very powerful truck, but it was just spinning its wheels because there was no weight in the bed of that truck. And I said, you know, it's like so many men. They have all this power in them, but they've got no meaning or purpose. And I said, we got to give them that kind of weightiness of purpose in their life. And then 2 days later, I was at Cocoa Beach at the parking lot, was about to go out and surf, and here comes this big black pickup truck. This was about 9 months ago. And he's circling this gravel parking lot, which, by the way, now it's paved, but he's circling this parking lot. He drives around me, drives around my friend Dennis, checks out the surf, and then he's leaving. He's got this big machine, by the way, in the back of that truck, so no gravel is spinning. It's just heavy and carrying the weight. This window rolls down in the back of the pickup, and a wild bobcat sticks its head out the window. A bobcat. Yes. And I thought, that's it. That's what men need to realize, is that abandoning yourself to God's will is the greatest, wildest adventure you can have. It's like dropping in on a big wave. And yeah, so I mean, I think if you look at the lives of the saints, not one of them had a, you know, there's this gnarly element to being a truly devoted Christian. I'm just listening to Eusebius's History of the Church, the first 300 years of the Church. You want to hear about some gnarly people, some people that are on a, you know, it's a great adventure. And more than that, an adventurer is someone who steps out of the box and just a common person doing an uncommon thing. But what makes a hero of someone who steps out of the box, steps off that main road, and lays down his life too for his friends. So men, I think to some extent have kind of lost their way in terms of either they go the macho route, which is a pursuit of emptiness, or they just become nice guys that really don't ever do anything. What we need is good men who will step up into servant leadership. That's courage. That's different than machoism. To lay down your life for your family and your friends. I just believe if we get the men going, if we can save the men, we kind of help save the family, you save the church, you save the world. So I'm just challenging men to live the life God has for you. Paddle into that big wave. Why take the first wave of the set? Wait for the big one and paddle in fully committed with all your heart. And just go deep with the Lord.
Well, behind you is a great picture of you and your wife tandem surfing. And besides tandem surfing, you host an adventure reality show and family life. You also host a blog, radio program. Why did this become such an important message for you to share to everybody?
You know what? The reason why this kind of stuff is happening is because I really have no talent and ability, but I just feel like God knew that if he asked me to do it, I would do it. I think there's so many people with more talent and ability than me, but they're sitting on the sidelines. And so for me, I just find, as you discover God's will, you kind of bounce off of walls, you knock on doors that don't open. And sometimes it's hard. You get tired of stepping out in faith. You get tired of always putting yourself on the line. But if you do that, great things happen. God has a great story for each of us to live. And why not live life to the fullest and have your life have meaning?
Deep in the Wave, A Surfer's Guide to the Soul. This is going to be a great gift for my nephews. I'm going to get them a copy, and it'd be a great gift for grads and dads. Where can people get a copy and learn more about your work?
I think Catholic has it.com and Amazon.com has it, and my website is bearswave.com. And I'd love to take Emily tandem surfing while she's here. We live right in Waikiki. We're right on the beach. So we'd love to greet your family, too. That's what we do here in Hawaii.
I'm going to have them look you up. Seriously, they're there all week, so.
Well, let me ask
we
you,
love that.
Let me ask you, Bear, how close is your wife right now? Could she peek in and give us a wave?
Oh, she won't do it. It's 4:30 in the morning.
Did she just say no makeup?
She just ran into the other room. She almost opened the window and dove out on the 25th floor.
You know what? That's how women usually respond to me, by the way.
I never saw her blush before in my whole life.
They run the other way. Well, we see her back there behind you anyways. Hey, Bear, thanks so much for being with us today. Keep up the great work.
In Hawaii, we go shaka aloha.
Shaka aloha. We've got that. Thanks, Bear. Have a great one.
Okay.
Okay, God bless. Bye.